healthy, but it's you know what? I'll leave it.
I mean, I just
want to open it.
I just wanted to chime in because I've been waiting for this opportunity to speak to Chelsea fans in a minute. I think it's good, good. The amount of time Chelsea have come in, tried to scupper Tottenham's chances for the league or top four. I'm happy to see Chelsea in 10th, and so long may it continue. The other thing I wanted to say,
11.
Chelsea have done something that they've been doing, which is that they steal managers or players from other teams. And they've been doing it from Mourinho days, where if they see another team's interested in a player, they just take him. You took a very good player from Aston Villa. Why isn't he getting a game? You brought in Amari Hutchinson from Arsenal. Why aren't these boys getting a game? You don't need the whole world. Do you get what I'm saying? I just feel like you're buying players, but you haven't really put any thought behind the system. And it's good to see that you're overwhelmed by the players you got and you don't know what to do with it. How about you just take a step back and go for what you need, not for, if Tottenham say they're going for, I don't know, some next player from Sporting Lisbon, oh, guess what? Chelsea are going to be there. Because Luis Enrique, you don't need him, but all of a sudden you lot are doing talks with Luis Enrique as well as Nagelsmann. So you lot just need to make up your mind and go over and stick to it.
Hang on a second. Wait.
Yeah.
So you want us to actively do less work to get a better informed decision? Think about what you've just said. You want us to do less work to get a better decision.
So, with what you've just been doing, has it worked? You want to buy the whole world?
Again.
No, but do you want to buy the whole world?
Hold on. We're under a different regime, under a different owner. Okay, all Chelsea fans will tell you the first 6 months of Todd Bowley was a catastrophic failure. We'll all say it. All of us. No one's going to fight us. No one's going to fight over that. We can all agree with that. We right now, and what I feel like a lot of Chelsea fans are doing, is that even though they have made errors in the past, we can see what the owners and what the people upstairs are trying to do in terms of picking the right manager. So for now, we're going to keep our powder dry, because what is the point in us getting angry? There is no point in us getting angry. There's nothing. What do you want me to be angry about Mudryk being at my club? He's already here. He's already there. What do you want me to do?
He's a long-term signing. He's a long-term signing as well.
Exactly. What do you want me to do? As far as I'm concerned, this year, it doesn't mean anything. Next year will only mean something if we appoint the right manager or if we appoint the complete wrong manager. Then next year becomes even bigger. But saying I don't need Enrique,
I don't get that.
Why can I not interview Enrique just to find out a better decision?
1 second. We're going to learn a lot about your level of patience that you'll have, because if I see a waiver from now until the end of the season with Frank Lampard and you guys are just starting to go crazy because Frank Lampard's there and not an actual manager, we'll be back here in 8 games time or 9 games time, and I'll see how much level of patience you actually have. Because I honestly believe that a bunch of you Chelsea fans are lying to your teeth about the whole situation with Frank Lampard coming in. And the same people like you, David, who were begging for Frank Lampard to get sacked and celebrating when he got sacked, is now sitting here telling me, you know what, I'm okay with him for the next 9 games. You're going to be absolutely...
Egal, genuinely, I agree with you. I will probably lose my head in the next 10 weeks. Okay? I'm not going to lie to you. I'll probably lose my head.
So then Deji's right.
But the Lampard appointment is not for me. The Lampard appointment is not for me. I don't go to every game. I don't love Frank Lampard like them man do. Them man who go to every game, I'm telling you now, them man will not boo him at all. I'm confident on that. I will die on that hill. When he got sacked when we were in 8th or 10th or wherever, them man had banners the next game saying, "Why'd you sack Lampard?" I'm telling you now, it's not for me.
Once again.
I agree with you, Egal. I don't think, even though I agree with Lampard in terms of off the field stuff. On the pitch, he will annoy me to whatever. But you know what? I'll lose my head for 5 minutes and then I'll come back composed. I'll do that. I can do that. It's not an issue.
We didn't want it. Egal, you're talking like we wanted Frank Lampard to come. We didn't want it. I didn't want it. I was rattled when I saw that news. I was saying to my boys when I saw TalkSport tweeting it, I said, nah, they're only doing that because he was at the game yesterday. Then I'm seeing Ornstein and that saying, oh, they're thinking about hiring him. I said, no way. I was rattled, bro. I'm not happy with it at all. I'm not. Because I know on the pitches he's dross. He's shit.
Exactly. But them 18,000 season ticket holders, them man love him to death. They'll love him till they die.
I can't believe Chelsea fans are accepting this tape 11th when they've spent 400 million. I can't believe you're accepting
because again, Alan, we
Makes no
accept
sense.
That's exactly what I was going to say, Alan.
But Alan,
It's not the first time.
Guys, in the interest of time, I've got to go through some of these super chats here. So I was muted trying to say it. New owners have made some bad decisions. Yes, old ownership is the reason a rebuild was needed. The reason we lost players for free, Lukaku too, is what Gav says.
They're tidying up a lot of the mess that
You
Marina
can't get at old owners when they won you guys everything.
Yes, but it was deeper than that. When was the last time we competed for the league, Egal?
You won the Champions League 2 years prior.
Yeah, but we're trying to get sustainable success now. Hence why they're doing what they're doing.
Bro, you wouldn't be Chelsea if it wasn't for the scattergun sacking, continuously trying to win now approach.
This was always going to happen with the way the old
This was never going to happen under Roman. Roman Abramovich, no matter what.
Roman Abramovich made a million mistakes. As much as he wanted to score those.
It doesn't matter how many mistakes he made. I can sit here and say Roman Abramovich. 1 second. I could sit here and say Roman Abramovich has been the best owner in the Premier League in the last 20 years.
Yeah, but we should. That doesn't mean that we shouldn't criticize things when he makes mistakes.
You can criticize him, but this whole thing that is like the guy who the owner and the ownership group that got you to what you guys are, right. Terry. If you go back to previous super chat, basically criticizing that owner in hindsight because you have a new owner is completely backwards.
Again,
if Roman Abramovich was still here, Chelsea Football Club would not be 11th. Chelsea Football Club would have a proper manager, not Frank Lampard, and Chelsea Football Club would not be spending ridiculously without an actual plan.
You do realize if we didn't win the Champions League, and the Club World Cup with Tuchel, right, the trophies that we won, you do realize we wouldn't have won a trophy for 5 years, right? You do realize that. You know that.
What are you talking about? You won the Champions League. You won the Club World Cup.
I'm saying to you that the Champions League covered all the cracks that were going on back in the background. Because if we did not win that, we would have won the trophy for 5 years, bro.
Did you care? You were celebrating the Champions League win. None of us here give a shit.
Of course I care, because I called out the mistakes that they were making at the time. I was calling it out.
Did you care when Jose got sacked and Conte came and delivered you a league title? Did you care when Thomas Tuchel delivered you a Champions League? No, you said this team is going to push on. Stop acting like
you're missing a key point. You're missing a key point.
Nobody. 1 second. Stop. I feel like Chelsea fans are very defensive. Terry and the Tottenham fans on the panel. Do you give a shit if your team wins a league or a Champions League?
What you're saying to me? What you're saying to me is, if our owners aren't doing the correct things, right, and making mistakes, we can't criticize it. Is what you're saying? Because we're winning all these.
I'm not saying don't criticize. I'm not saying don't criticize. I'm saying you're blatantly lying. You're blatantly lying to our faces if you're saying you're upset about how you got to those successes.
We weren't.
I didn't say I was upset. I said they made mistakes. As much as we won the trophies, I said they made mistakes. They did make mistakes, and a lot of what the new owners have done now is to rectify those mistakes that they made. We didn't sign a midfielder since God knows when. 2017 was it, David? 2017 was the last time we signed a midfielder.
I agree you've made mistakes, but the win now approach of Roman Abramovich would paper over those cracks, as you guys have continuously said.
Yeah, but Egal, the win,
to work around it.
Our approach had an expiry date.
Okay, exactly.
It had a period where it worked, and you could see that the date was getting longer and longer and longer between competing. Okay, so in the same way, Arsene Wenger is your greatest ever manager. There was a point when it was like, you know what, his time has come and he's got to be moved on. We're not saying, and again, I didn't want Roman moved on at that point, but there was gonna be an inflection point where Abramovich's system of hiring and firing wasn't gonna work anymore. My point is,
money at it isn't gonna work anymore.
Can I say one thing? Can I say one thing? All I'm saying is nobody cares how you get to success. Only after you start criticizing and critiquing how you got to that success. At this moment in time, you are blatantly lying to me if you're saying that you cared more about those inherent issues in the background of Chelsea when you're winning the Champions League.
No, but Egal,
you can be right at the same time, Egal.
Guys, let me just jump in for a second. No, I don't even think that super chat said that they will. I want to make sure I word this in the right way. They're not saying that when they were winning, they were ignoring these things. They knew these things were there, but they were celebrating them, but they were still criticizing them. And if you actually go back to the super chat, it spoke about some of the mistakes they made around certain players leaving, like the Rudigers, the situation with having no striker. There are certain issues that were created in the previous regime that still haven't been fixed by the new one. That's not saying, in my opinion, that Roman destroyed the football club. I've never heard a Chelsea fan say Roman destroyed us,
Never.
Roman ruined
Never.
us. The thing is, Roman left because he was forced out after they made mistakes. Roman, if he stayed, would have fixed those mistakes, in my opinion. But he didn't fix those mistakes because the government made him sell the football club. So the new ownership have to fix them. And it's a lot harder to fix them when you're also kicking out all the boardroom, changing managers. So all the mistakes you're right to call out, Egal, you add that to some of the holes that already existed, and it's why it's going to take them a little bit of time. Like, I get where you're coming from, but I think you're kind of missing what you're both saying. David and Don didn't say that they were unhappy, but I remember a lot of Chelsea fans sitting on the terrace saying, look, I like what Roman's done, but we haven't competed for a Premier League in 2 years, and it was 3 years, and it was 4 or 5. What's it now? This will be the 6th season without competing for a Premier League title.
Yeah.
Like, there were some issues there that needed to be addressed, but equally though,
Roman's last season here before he got the sanction, that was the longest time it's taken him to win the Prem, and he still didn't win the Prem in that last season. So,
yeah, I
He won
totally
the Club
agree.
World Cup and just came off a Champions League. That was my point.
I get that.